Well, the president is holding a cabinet meeting this morning, Brian, and according to reporters who are in the press pool in the room with the president, he's making comments on a broad variety of topics. But on China, he's talking about China's growth and the GDP numbers that ground to a halt that we saw yesterday. He said, you read yesterday that China is down substantially. So it appears that President Trump feels emboldened by weakening financial data coming out of China to press this position. The other context that you need to have for this is the fact that the Treasury Secretary and the U.S. Trade Representative are expected to have another call this week with their counterparts in China to try to chart a path forward in advance of potential in-person negotiations later this month. So this is the president essentially teeing up that conversation that's expected to happen this week and trying to hold China to account here to actually make good on some of the things it promised. Yesterday, Larry Kudlow said pretty soon you're going to see China announce some large-scale farm purchases. But today, the president is saying, we'll see if they actually do it.
Kayla, very quickly, it's been tough to sort of keep a hold of all these tech headlines or trade headlines. I know you've done it as well or better than anybody out there. You've traveled the world with this. Are these new? How new? Or is this sort of Trump just saying what he has said in the past? And I say that because the stock market hasn't reacted much.
Well, Brian, the actual words the president is using are exactly the same, but the semantics are different. I mean, every time he does this, he tries to saber rattle to essentially make China feel that when they get on the phone with U.S. officials, when they get to the negotiating table in Beijing, in Washington, wherever it may be, that the president is still considering some of these harder line tactics, that he hasn't abandoned those just because they reached a truce at the G20, just because there was a positive conversation a couple weeks ago, that he always has these options in his back pocket.